So just off camera, I've just heard a really shocking statistic. If you are double the drink drive limit, you are 50 times more likely to have a fatal collision. Not a collision, a fatal collision. Inspector Keith Keller from Merseyside Police, you see these fatal collisions, you know, every week, part and parcel of your job. Just tell us what that is like, kind of drill it home to people, how horrendous that is.
Obviously, we're in situations where if it's someone who's been driving on their own and they've hit a tree or something like that, obviously you're turning up to what you can only describe as carnage. But really, that's not the hard part. The hard part is going to the next of kin and telling someone that whoever it is isn't coming home anymore, or telling the other people that, you know, this individual who's had alcohol has killed your relative. Just this time of year, obviously, you've got to think about it. There's a lot more issues to consider. Yes, people will be out there partying, go out there and have a good time. But by the same token, you know, the days are getting shorter, it's getting darker earlier. This morning we had frost and ice on the ground. All of those things combined, when you're driving, you've got a lot more things to think about.
Morning after, because this is a bit of a grey area. I always try and leave 12 hours. I think that's kind of the rule. What would you say to people if you've been out the night before, you finish at 1 a.m, you want to get to work in the morning? What should you do?
Use public transport. Short and simple answer. Like I said before, there's no easy way of saying whether it's 12 hours, 24 hours, whether you're a pilot or anything else. What you've got to think about is that there's a good chance that there is something still in your system. Any amount of alcohol in your system will affect your judgment. You're going to work the next day, you're driving in rush hour, you're driving in peak traffic. We already know that's the highest time for likely to have a collision anyway. Why do you want to add to something like that?
Drug driving is kind of something that's not so new. It's always happened, but there's more tests. It's easier to test now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the key for us. It's been going on as long as there have been drugs out there. People have been using vehicles. What's easy for us now is to, just like we can use a roadside screening device for breath, we can now use roadside screening devices for drugs. That means it's easier for us and they're more accurate.
Finally, what's your message to anyone who's out and about partying? Nothing wrong with that, but just don't get behind the wheel. What would you say to these people?
Absolutely, all I will ever say is think about how you're going to get home. Plan in advance, you know, whether that means booking a taxi, using the bus, using the train, but plan in advance how you're going to get home that evening, but also think about how you're going to get to work the following day.
Keith, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.